bitch so bad, I wanna shoot like hoops while I'm riding in the coupe. I got what you want, it ain't nothing but a loop. Don't listen to friends, they don't know what's best for you. I want you, I wanna shoot like hoops while I'm riding in the coupe. I got what you.
What is up, everybody? My name is Mason Marquis. I'm with
Jackson Gamper.
So this episode is definitely a little bit different.
Yeah.
We've taken a few weeks off. I'd say for good reason, but I understand the inconsistency is a big thing and something that should be addressed. So, as you guys can see, we are not in the dugout.
Nope.
We're in West Virginia right now on a little vacation, and that's what this summer has pretty much been. It's been a lot of vacations, very short vacations. It's been a lot of work for you. You know, you've been getting ready for this next season for high school.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working a lot, so we haven't had a ton of time to record, but we're trying to get these videos out.
Yeah.
If you notice a little bit of quality change this episode, on vacation today, we're getting ready to record. We're excited to record, and we go on a walk across a bridge, and I dropped my phone 800 feet. It was really, like, obviously I was upset about it. Because
You handled it well, though.
I tried to handle it well while we were on the bridge. It was definitely getting annoying, but yeah, today's episode might not be the best episode. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff been going on recently, but we're gonna try to cover as much as we can.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let Jack take it away. There have been so many transfers, so much stuff with football. One thing I will say is you're about to hear a cargo pass. We are outside because we thought it'd be cool to film outside for a night. So if you hear this a lot throughout the episode, that's why. But
Yeah, it's
next week.
inconvenient, but everything will be sorted out. And
Next week you guys should expect a lot more high quality videos.
Yep, and a special video.
Oh yeah, we have a secret video coming out that we've been planning for a few weeks. Just looking for time to film. We finally have that time.
Yeah.
So be ready for next week's episode. Jack, take it away with some transfer news for us to start us off.
Okay, starting off, I want to talk about something that's not transfer related, but it's pretty big. So Chelsea, they've been making some signings. They looked good in the preseason. They had their 5-0 win against Wrexham. Obviously, it's Wrexham. It's not compared to Chelsea.
Yeah, it's not a Premier League team.
Exactly. But Chelsea's starting center back, Wesley Fofana, tore his ACL and will be out for the whole entire
season.
Yeah, whole entire season. So they will be missing that. They're not really too great on squad depth right now for center backs. I can only think of a couple off of my head, but like Trevor Chalobah, and you have Thiago Silva, but I think they should really maybe try and bring in some squad depth.
Yeah.
Especially with Azpilicueta leaving, a really high quality center back that they had for numerous years, their captain. What do you think Chelsea should continue to do now that their center back is
they have
injury?
They have two options: either go out and get more squad depth, or try to change the formation around a little bit, so that they're not as heavily dependent on their center backs. Maybe have an extra CDM or another center mid or left mid that can drop down and play more of that defensive role to help out with the injuries. But picking up squad depth is always helpful, whether it's a huge part or it's a small part that players can be playing in. So definitely try to go get some squad depth. But if they're short on money, which Chelsea never is, they could definitely look to switch the formation around and just change their play style a little bit.
Okay, so now that they just had Azpilicueta leave, he's reaching higher in age. They just had N'Golo Kante leave, he's reaching higher age. Do you think they should bring maybe in some more older guys to shorten out the squad and make it more professional, I guess you could say? Or do you think they should keep the squad young and focus on building players up?
Well, I think it's always a great idea to bring some older players in.
1 second.
When you bring in older guys, it really just helps build up those younger players. Getting to see players like Ibrahimovic, for example.
Yeah.
A lot of the players he played with that were young grew into better players because they were able to play with him and learn so much from him. So I think that bringing in older players to help round out the squad, always a good idea.
Okay.
Ooh, that was a loud one.
Yeah. Moving on from
Transfer.
Debt City.
Oh.
We're going to go to Arsenal, which, let's just say that 5-0. Okay, today they lost to Man United, but we don't talk about that. It's preseason, so they're not going to be perfect. Nor do we start everybody that would start. It's a mix. So Arsenal beat the MLS All Stars 5-0, and that was just a great display by all the goal scorers.
But it's the MLS All Stars.
I know, but it was a great display by the goal scorers. There's some great goals scored. There was some great link-up play. Urian Timber, Declan Rice, and Kai Havertz came out. Declan Rice looked really sharp, really nice, passing off the ball, good 1-2s. And Urian Timber played like he's been at the club for 5+ years. He was moving around, coming into that Zinchenko role perfectly. It just looks really good this season from Arsenal and the Gunners. I think that they're going to do amazing. And Kai Havertz is honestly an underrated signing. Just so dumb by them. Oh, such a waste of money. He's a great signing. Such a dumb signing, though, in my opinion. And I know.
Oh my God!
I don't know.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Jack, the day that they announced that Arsenal were buying Kai Havertz from Chelsea, you were not happy.
Okay.
I would say you were livid, honestly.
Yeah, but okay. So Kai Havertz.
And he comes out one game. You only saw him play one game. And he scores a goal, and you immediately switch up. I'm sorry, you're a clown.
What?
It's a clown. That's a clown statement by you. I think I said it was a good signing from the start. I still stand by that.
Okay, Kai Havertz.
But you switching up that fast is crazy.
Kai Havertz is a great player, right? But he just hasn't had that good of seasons compared to what he can be and what he was. But I now see his potential, and I now see what he can be, and like Ted Lasso says, the sky's the limit.
All right, let's move on from your Arsenal fanboying.
Yeah. Let's hit some transfers. Okay, so let's go back into Man United, and we saw that Andre Onana signed for Man United as their brand new goalkeeper. They're getting rid of David De Gea. I'm really curious to know where he's going to go. But right now, let's talk about how do you think Andre Onana is going to do coming from Serie A to the Premier League? And do you think he's going to do as good as De Gea, better than De Gea, or worse than De Gea?
Well, I think that if we go back, I'm not going to switch up. I picked David De Gea as my goalie of the year.
Oh, yeah.
I think that he's one of the best goalies in the Prem and has always been one of the best goalies in the Prem since he's come in. So I don't think that this kid's going to do as well as him. But something you were talking about.
Andre Onana's pretty old, actually. I think he's like 28. So I don't think he's young anymore now that I'm thinking about it.
I don't know too much about that.
Yeah, he's...
But now they if you think back, you were talking about how good Man United's defense is as a whole already. So I do think he's going to play very well because they have that great defense to help support him.
Yeah.
But I think David De Gea is one of the few goalies that I consider almost unreplaceable in the Premier League. So I think you're definitely going to see Man United let up a few more goals, but I think that they're going to be okay as a team still because they have that great defense back there.
Okay, so Me. So Harvey Barnes went from... Okay, wait. Let's address something real quick. We just changed shirts.
Yeah. We were filming yesterday, and earlier we talked about how difficult it has been for us to film.
Yeah.
This is a testament to that. We got about 12 minutes of footage,
Yeah.
And then recorded for another 45 minutes at least. Checked our thing, and it wasn't recording anymore.
Yeah,
so our outfits are different. It's darker outside. It's 11:45 at night now here in West Virginia.
It's the next day.
The next day.
All good though.
Yeah, so we're gonna take off where we were. We have a car coming already.
Oh my god, dude, it's 11.
Yeah. Take us away with Harvey Barnes.
Okay, so Harvey Barnes for $39 million goes from Leicester City to Newcastle. It's a really good signing. Harvey Barnes is really talented, young-ish left mid. He's reaching higher in age, but I think this is a really good signing for them, especially with, as we saw, Saint Maximin did go to Al Hilal, and yesterday that wasn't a thing, but today it was actually confirmed that he did go, which it is a shame, but
we expected it.
is.
We talked about that yesterday. We thought we did at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, we talked so much about how we dislike the Saudi League signings yesterday. Just because it's just such a true testament to how much the game has changed. You're one of your favorite players of all time, Arsenal legend. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
No longer plays for Arsenal. He's a legend.
Who are you talking about?
He's a pundit now. I can't even remember his name myself.
Dude, what? Who are you talking about?
Oh my God, what is his name?
Pundit now. Thierry Henry?
Yes, Thierry Henry. He was asked if he would ever sign with Tottenham for triple the amount, and he said no.
No
he
way.
wanted to die wearing an Arsenal jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And now players are just switching leagues just for money, it seems like.
Yeah.
And that's just annoyed both of us so much.
Mm.
But keep going with what you were saying.
So Harvey Barnes to Newcastle, I think that brings in some good depth, maybe a new starting left mid for them. We saw Chelsea beat Brighton in preseason. We saw a couple good goals from them. Some good team goals, some good team link-up play, and we also saw Newcastle played against Aston Villa today, and I believe Newcastle won. I'm not sure about that one though, but Newcastle are looking really good. I think that they can definitely do a really good season push next season. I think they can get really high up there, maybe even get Champions League again.
Yeah, they definitely have potential to play well. Only thing I'm gonna say is it's preseason, so
yeah.
Yeah. If you guys, I don't know.
We didn't get to.
We didn't get to any of that.
Nope.
Yesterday I talked about how much I hate preseason, how much I hate summer league, for a good 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. We'll go back to that soon.
Yeah, we'll get to that point eventually, but yeah, to me preseason, you don't see the teams. They play well.
Mm-hmm.
You think they'll be great teams, and then they fall so short of where they should be. And then you also see it on the opposite end of the spectrum, where teams play horrible in the preseason, and then in the regular season
they end up doing good.
Yeah, they end up playing well. So it's nice to see the players playing well, but you never really know what's going to happen throughout the regular season.
Yeah. Okay, I want to go to a new signing. Anthony Elanga, the young Swedish left winger on Man United, so a really talented young kid, just goes to Nottingham Forest. Do you think this is a good move for him, or do you think he should have stayed in a bigger team like Man United and pushed those substitutions and mostly only played off that?
He's definitely going to have a chance to have a bigger role here. Short term, I think staying at Man United would be better for him, but the long term of his career, he's not the oldest player. He still has plenty of years left.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, he's so much time left. So if he's able to figure out a starting role here, I think it could do wonders for his career. And just playing as a starter is such a big difference than coming on as a sub.
Yeah.
So I think that if he's able to get some starts over there, he can, really unlock that true potential he has.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest aren't looking too bad. Their striker really went off at the end of the season. He had he had 10 goals in 10 consecutive games. It was nuts. He did really, really great. Now I want to move on to something really huge, and it is the news about Kylian Mbappe.
Oh.
And I know. I bet you forgot about that.
Well, not that I forgot. I just wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah. So Mbappe, apparently is
for sale.
is now for sale from PSG. He is leaving. He's prepared. If no one, it looks like they're going to put him on the transfer market. But if not, he said he's prepared to sit out the whole entire season to leave on a free next year.
Yeah, I hate when players do that. Because he signed a contract with PSG. I think that, if he sits out, they still have to pay him because it was a fully guaranteed contract. I think that if he sits out, they shouldn't have to pay him.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of disrespectful to PSG. And if I'm a different team, I'm looking at that thinking, oh, a couple things don't go his way, and he just won't want to play for me anymore.
Yeah.
Now I do understand him wanting to leave as a free agent. So, but still, you should play out your career. You should play out your season that you're under contract if they don't sell him.
Yeah.
Sounds like we have another car coming up. I don't really know. I've heard it a few times and they don't come for miles. Now it just disappeared.
Yeah.
We're confused here. Oh, now it looks like we might got something coming over a hill. Listen, this state is the weirdest state I've ever been in.
Yeah.
So many hills, so many mountains, so many bridges, so many phones lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what team do you think do you think any team should go out and buy Kylian Mbappe, knowing that they're only getting him for this last year of his contract, and then have the potential to extend his contract, renegotiate, or do you think they should wait until he's a free?
Okay, so now Mikel Arteta.
Oh my God.
Mikel Arteta is one of the most convincing people in the world, right? He has something that he's building at Arsenal, and he knows what he's doing. And I personally think if him and Kylian Mbappe were to get into a room together, I personally think Kylian Mbappe will want that Arsenal contract. And I'm not even saying this to be funny. Like, Mikel Arteta is the most persuasive person you will ever meet.
Have you met him?
No, but this is what I know. He's pushes projects on people, like, for example, the Declan Rice thing. He had people like Ian Wright, past Arsenal players, go and talk to Declan Rice on his own at the English national team while they were training for that, and have him talk to him on his own and to push for that Arsenal project. Mikel Arteta knows what he's doing, and I think, personally, as much as I love Gabriel Jesus, Kylian Mbappe would be insane. Not only would it change the Premier League with a rivalry between Man City and Arsenal with Kylian Mbappe and Holland, it will set a whole new standard to how Arsenal play, and I think that would genuinely define how we would be able to go from a second place team to a
First place team?
yeah, not first place team, but what did treble winning team?
Listen, I think that if they were able to add Mbappe, they would definitely push for a treble. I also don't think that they will get Mbappe.
It's not.
I'm glad that you're hopeful,
Yeah.
but it's not going to happen. I think that more realistically, he'd be better suited to go to a team like Man United. They're extremely rich. So yeah, Arsenal is as well, but they've spent so much money already on Declan Rice, on Kai
200
Havertz.
mil.
They spent so much money last season on Gabby Jesus to
65.
replace him that fast. I can't see it happening. But
Right.
maybe the Philadelphia Union could reach out.
Dude, shut up, bro. They don't. They're not even worth as much as.
That's a
80
little
things.
more realistic to
No,
me.
Yeah, shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
So yeah, let's go Union.
No, realistically, this is what I can see happening with the absence of Ballon d'Or Benzema. Real Madrid will be looking to get a new striker, and I think they would do a heavy push on Kylian Mbappe. And with the signing of Jude Bellingham,
And that
and
could
Kylian Mbappe, that is a dynamic duo that you really just don't want to see.
talking about a little
And-
rivalry. That'd create a little rivalry between Barcelona and Real Madrid already go at it enough.
Yeah,
with
but-
then Robert Lewandowski and
Kylian Mbappe, yeah, that would be pretty nice.
and it would also kind of be like changing of the league because
because
Lewandowski's up there in age now.
Yeah,
kind
and
of
he-
giving the keys over to Mbappe to take over as the most elite scorer in that league.
Lewandowski, it was his first season last season in
Yeah.
Barca, I believe, and he didn't do too bad. I'm not sure what his exact stats were, but I know he didn't play awful, compared to like how he used to play at Bayern.
Yeah,
You know,
but
it's
it's
not-
also first year on a team.
Yeah, and he's older,
Yeah.
pushing numbers in age. But I think Kylian Mbappe, the smartest thing for him would be Real Madrid. If he wants to leave, I think PSG aren't happy about the situation with Mbappe, but I think that they're gonna so that means that they're gonna set a really high price tag on him. Like I'm saying like 250 mil.
The
max,
crazy
which
part
is
is, go
which,
ahead.
like that would be record breaking for numbers, and me personally, I just don't think Arsenal have those numbers right now. Especially we haven't offloaded not even one player, so
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's
We
the
don't have the money right now, but we definitely could in the future if he wants to leave on a free next year.
still him leaving on a free. He's still gonna want 200.
I mean, he said himself, this is proven fact, you can pull it up, whatever, that he said if there's any team in the Prime, it's Arsenal.
I wanna see where he said
See,
that.
I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you after.
I haven't seen that before, but that's if he wants to come to the Prem.
Get him in a room with Mikel Arteta, Thierry Henry, Ian Wright, Edu Martinez,
And the
that's
king
raps.
himself.
That's raps.
Right. All right. Moving on. We saw Messi play his first game for
Yeah.
Miami. Miami was able to announce him a few days ago. In his first game, in the 94th minute, comes on, and I think it was the 94th,
Yeah, you're right.
and he scores a free kick to win the game. First game, came on as a sub.
LeBron was there. Speed was there.
What do you think of him, one, coming on as a sub, and two, scoring that free kick? Does it kind of just show how much better he is than not just the MLS, because it wasn't an MLS match, but to the leagues surrounding the MLS and
So
North and South America?
I watched his touches, every touch he had during the game, and he was dribbling past people. He was just making defenders look like clowns. Like he's completely different, and compared to the talent that's there. But don't get me wrong, MLS has some great talent, and I know that they played Club Tijuana or something like that, Cruz Azul, one of them. But they played that team, but just compared to his teammates and the opposition, you could tell that it's on a whole different level. Even at 35, Messi is just a whole different level, and him coming on as a sub, me personally, if I was David Beckham, that is a temporary thing,
Oh, for sure.
and Messi should 100% come on as not come on at all. He should
Be a starter.
Yeah, he should be a starter.
Now, with him up there that far in age, though, and how far Miami is behind in the standings, I'm going to let these cars pass really quickly. With how far Miami is in the standings behind everybody else, if they lose a few more games,
So
could you see him either starting and then getting subbed off to prevent injury for this season, or could you see him coming on as a sub so that he's still getting playing time but not really pushing the issue and pushing the problem
I think David Beckham,
this late in the season with him already that far behind and really almost completely out of the playoff picture?
So right now they're sitting 15th, which is horrendous.
Yeah, that's
And,
bottom in the league.
yeah, they just made two signings. They made two signings along with Messi, which was Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba, two of Messi's past teammates at Barcelona. I think David Beckham knows what he's doing. He's getting these signings in, and he's pushing for players. He's also has in mind Andres Iniesta, who is extremely old, but Andres Iniesta is one of the best midfielders of all time. Don't get me started with midfielders, but
Yeah, that's last time you talked about midfielders. It did not go well.
yeah, a lot of
That
hate
I
comments.
think we're gonna cut this part, that small part of you saying that, and I'm gonna post it on our TikTok later.
What,
on.
Andres Iniesta?
Yeah.
He is one of the best midfielders
I just-
of all time.
I
Some
just-
people say he is the best midfielder.
What do
of
you give
all
him? Top 10?
time. Top 3.
Top 3?
He's third.
He's third. Who's your number 1?
Is it
Number 2?
Modric?
All right. You stand by your
Yes,
point.
I
So
stand by my point.
that at
Zinedine
least
Zidane.
you'll stand by that. At
Zinedine
least you'll
Zidane.
stand by that.
Zinedine Zidane, Iniesta, Modric. Or no,
Oh,
Modric, Iniesta, my fault. But moving on, David Beckham knows what he's doing. He's turning this Inter Miami team to a ex-European football / soccer team mixed with MLS, and he's getting the best of both, and he's building it for Inter Miami to finally not be sitting in that 15th or 14th or lower half spot and push for maybe even winning the MLS Cup. And they know what they're doing. He knows what he's doing, and he knows, like, I think that Inter Miami will be good. Maybe not by this year, but next year. And as it goes for the whole sub thing, I think if it's set in stone, maybe not play Messi as much, but still give him time to sink in, get the chemistry with the teammates, and be able to build a bond to be able to build that into next season.
Yeah. Now, with so many Europeans coming over to the MLS, do you think that's kind of what the MLS is going to become? Would that be a good thing? Or do you think it should be mostly homegrown American players and Mexican players, Canadian players playing in Major League Soccer?
So I can see, obviously, there's nothing wrong with different people playing in different leagues. So I don't see anything wrong with more European people coming to play. But there's always going to be that base of Americans, that base of Mexicans, that base of
Canadian.
Yeah, Canadians. Jesus. And there's always going to be that base where Major League Soccer is, and or what Major League Soccer is. And I think that although you're going to see these people like Messi, Busquets, Jordi Alba, who are Spanish, Argentinian, and, you know, you could see other people. Like, there's people from Bulgaria, there's people from just
Germany.
Germany, yeah, there's all sorts of places. Jamaica.
There's so many
like,
countries that are represented, but
it's not like,
do you think you're gonna
compared to?
Do you think you're gonna see a lot of these great players like Messi on the back end of their careers coming to the MLS to finish it out in front of what's widely considered the best sports country in the world?
Yes, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but at the same time, I don't like when people say MLS is a retirement league, because you have people like an American homegrown, someone who's from our state, Brendan Aronson from Medford, New Jersey. You have someone like him who went from playing in retirement league, Philadelphia Union, our MLS team, to going to play in RB Leipzig, then going to play in even the Premier League, and going all the way to England, and now, like, he's doing things that I'm sure as a young kid playing for the Philadelphia Union he never thought was going to happen.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Listen, we were talking about how weird West Virginia is a few minutes ago.
Yeah, and then
We just heard like
footsteps.
some random ass noise. It got me a
Whoa.
little. You said stuff earlier. It's fine. We heard some random stuff. Kind of sounded like people. Kind of sounded like an animal.
Right.
Kind of sounded like just like rolled up paper. I don't know what it was. But if you see me glancing that way, it's because I'm scared. So we were talking about the MLS pretty much being a retirement, not pretty much being a retirement league, but us not like it being called that. And I agree with what you're saying. But you have to admit, if you think about some of the best MLS players of all time, your mind immediately goes to David Beckham.
Yeah.
Already, you're gonna think of Messi. You're gonna think of Zlatan, who came here, and then he also went back and played more years in Europe. But you know, he originally came here kind of to finish out his career, and then he kind of reignited stuff here. So some of the best players that played in the Prem came here to retire. But I think really what it should be is those players coming here to retire, or young guys like Aronson who are trying to build up. But I think we can both agree that the 27-year-olds who are in the prime of their career playing in the MLS are kind of what we want to avoid, because it kind of takes like the major class out of the league, because they're in their prime and they're still playing in the U.S. Which we just know there's way better talent out there than those 27-year-olds. When there's 19-year-olds playing in the Prem.
Exactly.
Is there anything else? We didn't talk about Pulisic. We talked about him yesterday. We didn't talk about him today. Pulisic signed to AC Milan. He had his first assist today. Which ended up being the game winner. Correct?
No.
Did they lose?
I don't know, but I just know he assisted Tomori off a header off a corner.
Which gave them the lead.
Okay. I didn't know if it gave him like the game winner.
I'm pretty sure it gave him the game winner. Letting this car pass. I'm using their headlights to look. How good is it that Pulisic in his first game was able to make an impact on the game immediately?
I think it is amazing. Pulisic is finally getting the respect and the PT that he finally deserves, and Pulisic is one of the top players right now, in my opinion, like top right wings. Like obviously he's still young, but he has that potential to be great. And I'm not saying that he's world class, but I know that he is. He's a very good right winger, left winger, whatever you want to say, and he does really good things for his country, and he, as much as he wanted to do great things for his club at Chelsea, he just wasn't really given that opportunity.
Yeah.
So hopefully soon, me and Mason can get some Pulisic jerseys.
I'll rep them. I'll rep any Milan jersey, honestly.
Did you see their away kit?
I did not.
It is.
I haven't been paying
So
way
basically,
too much attention.
it's all white, and then there's just the red and black stripe going down across their logo.
I like their home kits though.
Yeah, they're just the plain red and black.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll look into those kits for sure. Is there anything else we want to talk about for European soccer?
Nope.
European
all good.
football. All right, so we'll jump into American football, the NFL. Season starting up in about 45 days. We talked about this yesterday, so we're just going to pretty much give you a recap of what we talked about very quickly. Jack predicted that the Eagles will go back to the Super Bowl if they're able to start off the season strong.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about in past episodes, the Phillies went to the World Series, came back, and have played pretty crappy to start the season. The Sixers went deep into the playoffs last year and started this season pretty crappy. The Union went to the MLS Cup final and then started off this season crappy. Still not in full stride. Definitely getting better, I'd say, but still not in full stride. And I said that I think that the Eagles will go back to the Super Bowl. You know, we added DeAndre Swift, who is a great pass catcher out of the backfield, which is really what I felt like we were missing last year offensively. So yeah, Eagles are beating the Bengals in the Super Bowl. You heard it here first. Lock in your bets. That's all there is to really talk about.
Okay, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate. So as much as you say Eagles are gonna win the Super Bowl, and you think the Bengals are gonna go to the Super Bowl, but you're counting out the team that beat us in the Super Bowl, which is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm here.
where do you think they stand in next year, and how do you think we avoid playing them again, and maybe even avoid losing to them again?
Well, I think that they're gonna go to the AFC conference finals, and I think they're gonna lose to the Bengals. I think the Bengals offense is just too much to handle at this point. I'm gonna let this truck pass. I think the Bengals offense is what?
It's a big ass truck.
Yeah. I think the Bengals offense is just too much for them to handle.
I just think they're pretty cool. What do you think?
The Chiefs lost a couple of key players this year on the defensive line, which is just going to help that Bengals offense, who already is elite. And Jamar Chase running down the field. I feel like the Bengals really have a great chance to go to the Super Bowl this year. But then I think that the Eagles have the best defensive line in the league and just keep getting better there, which is the Bengals' biggest weakness on offense. So I think that we just combat against them so well.
So why won't the Chiefs go?
Because they're going to lose to the Bengals.
But
The Bengals' offense is way too good for the Chiefs' defense.
did they add something?
The Bengals?
Yeah.
No, the Chiefs lost defensive players.
Okay.
And that's why I just think that Eagles are going to win it. That's why.
Yeah, so how do you think the Jets are going to do with Aaron Rodgers? And do you think they'll make a playoff push? Like, how do you think they'll stand?
I think they're going to make a playoff push. I think that they might win the last wild card spot. That AFC East is just such a good division. You have the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Jets, which is crazy to say because it used to be the Patriots, and that's it. But I think that this Jets team has really been revived, and I think that they could make a playoff push. They have the fourth easiest schedule in team strength from last season. That doesn't always equate to what it's going to look like this year, but if it's similar, then I think they have a good chance to push for the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers is elite, and if he plays, they have a chance to win every game. And that's not me saying they'll be undefeated, but when he plays, they have a chance to win that game.
Gotcha. Now, you say when he plays, is there someone who's...
No, I just in the NFL, it's hard to stay healthy.
Gotcha.
We've seen him have injuries before.
He's pushing in age.
Yeah, and he's getting older, so obviously I want him to stay healthy, but if he's able to stay healthy, then he will. Then they will win a lot of games with him, but it's hard to stay healthy. So I always say when a player plays, if a player plays, because you never really know what's going to happen in the NFL.
I don't have much for the NFL. I know that's your thing.
About the MLB, we had the All-Star break. Julio Rodriguez breaks the record for home runs in a single round with 41.
Yeah.
He goes on to lose. He just ran out of stamina, used too much power too quickly, which we see day to day in the MLB. Teams just go on a run of scoring 15 runs in a game, 10 runs in a game, and then get no hit.
Yeah.
We saw the Phillies do that in the World Series last year. We scored 10 runs on the Astros, I think, maybe 11. Had 5 home runs in that game, and then got no hit the next game in the World Series, which is sad. And then the National League won their first All-Star game in about 10 years, I think it was. Kind of shocking to me, thinking that it's been 10 years that they won. Do you think that...
There are good players.
Yeah, well, there's good players on both leagues, but it's just a game for fun. You would think that the National League would win every once in a while.
Yeah.
They don't take it serious. Do you think that the players should start taking it more serious, or do you think that they should just have their fun?
I think the All-Star game in the MLB is just like the All-Star game in the NBA. You just got players just messing around the whole time. And although I think MLB is 10 times more fun than the one in the NBA, it's still just, the whole thing's just for jokes. Like, it's not anything serious.
Yeah, I agree. And then coming back off the All-Star break, almost every team has just been night and day, like, great, bad, great, bad. And the Phillies fit into that category perfectly, and we always use the Phillies as an example because it's our hometown team.
Mm-hmm.
We came off the All-Star break, won 4 in a row, lost 4 in a row, and then just won our most recent game. So since the All-Star break, we are exactly 500. That's not going to be good enough to make it to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
What can the Phillies do now that they have Harper at first? Do you think they should make a trade? Do you think that they should just hope that the team gets into the right run of things? Do you think that they should just hope the team gets into the right swing? What should they do to help their odds of getting to the playoffs?
So last season and the season before was sort of like our rebuilding phase. We got Castellanos, Brandon Marsh, Schwarber, like all these players, and I think we have the pieces to what we need to win a World Series, but the players just can't execute on the day. You'll have people like Kyle Schwarber hitting great, and then maybe Nick Castellanos can't hit, or you'll see everyone else is in a drought, and maybe Trey Turner and only Bryce Harper can hit. I think the team as a whole needs to be able to hit, and needs to be able to come together collectively as a group and be able to put up numbers and points. And I think you really saw that in the World Series against the Astros where they won 10-0.
Yeah, we definitely have had great games, definitely have had horrible games, and the Phillies really need to figure out a way to put it together, as do so many other teams in the league. And I think we will do that eventually. But I just don't want it to be too late into the season that we start doing that. But even last year we saw the Phillies get swept in a game against in a series against the Cubs, and then go on to win against we swept the Marlins, and then we swept another team, and then we beat the Astros to go to the playoffs for the first time in a decade. So I do think that they're going to figure it out eventually. I think they have the players that can figure it out. I think they have the manager that can figure it out, the front office. I think they're going to go out, trade for a defensive left fielder just to back up Schwarber so that he can DH. And then hopefully so that when he is able to play, he can be our DH hopefully. Just mix things up.
Yeah.
I think it's going to work out pretty well for them. And if they're able to push into the playoffs and win the first couple rounds, we could see Rhys Hoskins come back.
That would be amazing.
Just like Schwarber did a couple years ago, and Schwarber's helping him get through that a lot, which shows how well this team bonds together. And I think that's what's going to really push them if they're going to make a playoff push.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you want to talk about in the MLB that's been going on recently that comes to your mind?
Not really.
So, one thing that I saw today is he didn't officially request a trade, but Shohei Ohtani is seeking a trade, and the Angels are seeking a trade partner for him because he is a free agent and he does want to leave next offseason. Could you see the Phillies being buyers and going after a player like Shohei Ohtani to fill out the rest of that bullpen and to be another hitter? Or do you think that he's just going to cost us a little bit too much for a rental?
I think it's 100% worth it. I think that he is one of the best players in the league, if not the. But, there's going to be a heavy price tag. It's kind of similar to like how Kylian Mbappe will have a heavy price tag if he were to go to Arsenal. But I think Shohei Ohtani would 100% be worth it, and maybe even put together that last final piece that the Phillies need to finally win a World Series again.
Yeah. So, I think that's pretty much all we're going to talk about. Leave in the comments where you think Shohei will go if he's not traded by the time this comes out.
Yep.
And where do you think he's going to go in the off season after being a free agent? one thing I do want to do with you before we wrap this up tonight. I know it's late. It's 12:30 already.
Yeah.
We're both gonna do one wavelength to each other.
Oh,
It doesn't have to be just sports. So
Jesus.
I'm gonna go first. I already have been thinking about it for a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have you close your eyes. I'm gonna show the camera what number it's gonna be.
All right. Got it.
All right. And I'm gonna name 5 things. Not all about sports,
Okay.
but just in general, 5 things, and you have to tell me what number through 10 you think I'm thinking of. This is
Alright.
not our idea, by the way. We're definitely
Yeah.
we're definitely
Wavelength
using
is
this.
Definitely. If you haven't seen it, go look on TikTok. Just
Yeah,
type
it's
it in.
it's extremely fun. So we're gonna start us off. First thing, talking about him earlier, Kylian Mbappe.
Okay.
Mbappe. Number 2. The 2022 Philadelphia Phillies, the ones that went to the
Okay.
World Series.
Got it.
Number 3, I'll go. I'll go the 2022 Philadelphia Eagles went to the
Okay.
Super Bowl.
Okay.
Trying to give you more things that you definitely can relate to.
Alright.
We'll go with the Union goalkeeper Andre Blake.
All right.
Maybe this will all be sports. I'm just kind of keep making this up on the fly now. I'll do one that's not sports. Pepperoni pizza.
10.
It was a 9.
Dude, that was my other one. I had it.
It was 2 teams
10.
that went to the championship
Wow.
and came up just short. I won.
Pepperoni pizza's a 10 though.
Yeah, dude.
That's a 10.
But that's no 2 teams that lost in the final. All right, guys. So basically, you saw Jack got it wrong.
Yeah.
We're trying to speed this up now because our videos cut out like 10 times because of Jack. He has no storage.
Yeah.
So I don't even get to go. I'm doing 2 next week just for that.
All right.
Expect the quality to be back next week. You guys are gonna see a title. We don't have a title. We love you guys. We'll record next week.
Yeah, bitch so bad I wanna shoot.